If you haven't subscribed yet, please take care of that now. Button's right below you. Give it a quick click, and we're going to get started. Today we're going to look at electric vehicles, all of the costs associated with them. There's quite a bit of costs associated with them that I'm willing to bet you don't know about, little hidden costs that they don't tell you at the storefront. And then we're also going to look at how they compare to their gas counterparts. So we're going to look at the true cost of electric over gas and if it's worth it. So some of the vehicles we're going to be looking at today. The Tesla Model 3. $40,000 will get you the two-wheel drive version. $50,000 gets you the all-wheel drive version. This vehicle comes with a 75 kilowatt-hour capacity battery, 7.7 kilowatt onboard charger, and 250 miles per charge. Now, the reason the onboard charger matters is we're going to get into that in a little bit here. The 2020 Chevy Bolt, $37,000, 60 kilowatt-hour battery, a little bit smaller battery, a little bit slower onboard charger at 7.2. But you're going to get 259 miles per charge. And then the gas vehicle we're going to compare is an all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza. $19,000 for the base model, $26,000 fully loaded. We're going to look at the 31 mile per gallon combined number for our calculations. So everything we do today, we're going to compare the Subaru to the Tesla. You see the Tesla and the Chevy Bolt are very similar in all their ratings. If anything, this is the better car, has the bigger battery capacity and the faster onboard charger. And again, I'm going to get into why that matters here in a minute. So, starting right off with some of the downsides to electric is the amount of time it takes to charge these vehicles up. You have your level 1, level 2, and level 3 charges. You might not be familiar with what those are. Level 1 charger is going to be your 110 volt household outlet. Level 2 charger is going to be your 240 volt, which you may also have at your house. And then your level 3 charger is your supercharger that you can have access to at a charging station. So those are your three different options. Each one will charge faster. On a level 2 charger, it's going to take 10 hours to fully charge the Model 3. With a supercharger, you're looking at an hour and a half to 2 hours. Now, that's where this comes into play. When you go to a gas station, you know the cost of gas right up front. You look at the pump, price per gallon, boom, done. Electric is not that straightforward. Some stations charge by the hour, some stations charge by the amount of juice that you're taking off of their system, and some charge based off of monthly or yearly subscriptions. If you're at a station that charges by the hour, that's where this comes into play. You're going to want a faster onboard charger so that you're not sitting there any longer than you have to, racking up more cost. The average on all these electric vehicles right now seems to be about 7.2 kilowatt onboard chargers, so the Tesla is a little bit faster there. The other thing with electric charging stations, they are not all created equal. Not only do you have to find a charging station, but then you have to find one that's compatible for your car. Tesla has their plug, Chevy has their plug, so on and so forth. So it's not just a matter of finding any station, you got to find one that matches your vehicle. So some of the other costs associated with this, to charge these at home, you don't just simply buy an electric vehicle and plug it into your household outlet. You have to get a charging station. You're looking at $1,200 to $1,500 to have that put into your home. You have your permits, you got to have an electrician come out, and they may even have to update your home electrical system if it isn't capable of handling the extra juice. So you have that cost. Looking at just the cars alone, I brought in a four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza for this comparison just to keep it as fair and honest as we can. If we really wanted to get down to, let's compare the cheapest gas car to the Tesla, we would have brought in a Ford Fiesta that is $14,000 and gets 30 plus mile per gallon. But the Ford Fiesta is a shoebox and it wouldn't be a fair comparison, so we brought in the all-wheel drive. So to be fair with the all-wheel drive, if we took the top base model top model 26,000 compared to the Tesla all-wheel drive, you're looking at $24,000 more, almost twice the cost. Well, let's go ahead and just give them the benefit of the doubt and let's go with $40,000 versus 26. So we're going to say $15,000 on average more upfront cost for the EV over the gas. So we have that charge in there as well. The range on these, with your average car is going to get minimum 500, maybe 700 miles per gallon, per tank full rather. With the electric vehicles, 250 seems to be about the average. If you spring $95,000, you can get a Tesla that will give you 400 miles of range if you got that kind of change to play with. So you're stopping a lot more. And if you're on the road, taking a family road trip, you're going to be stopping every 250 miles to sit for 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. And that's if you pay your subscription that you have access to the supercharging network. On top of the supercharging network, that is an additional cost as well. From the Tesla website, for their Model S, you're looking at, I believe it was a Model S, let me quote this right here. Yep, the Model S is going to be $90 for every 1,500 miles of drive range just for the supercharging fee. That's not the cost of the electric, that's just the fee to use it. The Model X is $102 for every 1,500 miles of range. If you buy your Tesla used, Tesla can shut off the supercharging capability of your vehicle and then charge you as the second owner an additional $2,000 to $3,000 to have that feature added back onto your car. So you are really at their mercy there. These vehicles are always on their networks and they computer control them. So now we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of this, the on-road cost of these EVs versus gas vehicles. Now I'm going to go with, right now in the Northeast, our on-road charging stations are, from what I found on the web, are 59 cents per kilowatt hour. So the Tesla has a range of 250 miles. We have a 75 kilowatt capacity battery. These are not 100% efficient. With any electrical device, you're going to lose a little juice from the source to where you're charging, through the connections and all that. So they're not 100% efficient. The best Teslas right now are 85% efficient. So we're going to take 75 and divide it by 0.85 is going to come out to 88.24. So we need 88.24 kilowatt hours to fully charge our 75 kilowatt hour battery. So this is the number we're looking at there. Now the cost of 59 cents per kilowatt hour for the on-road chargers, 88.24 times 0.59. That's going to come out to $52.06 to fully charge our battery for every 250 miles. So now we're going to take our 5206 divided by 250. And that's going to come out to 20.8. So now we're looking at 20.8 cents, excuse me, for every mile to drive our Tesla. That's utilizing the on-road chargers. So 20.8 cents per mile. And again, that's at 59 cents a kilowatt hour. Now, electricity is not a straight charge. For this math, I'm using the national average of 13.31 cents per kilowatt hour for your home electricity. Let's face it, you're probably going to be doing most of your charging at home. I'm not trying to cheat the system here. We're going to try and do a very fair comparison. Now, California naturally has more EVs than just probably about any other state. Guess who has the highest electricity right now? You got it, California. You guys know how the system works. If we could get a car to run on water, water would be $10 a gallon. The government, the man is going to get theirs one way or the other. But again, we're not going to look at the 19, 20 cents per kilowatt hour they're paying right now. We're going to look at the national average of 13.31. So again, we have our 88.24 times 13.31. That's going to come out to $11.75. So now we're going to take our $11.75 and divide that by 250 miles, and we're going to get 4.7. So if we're charging at home, we're looking at 4.7 cents per mile. So that's a lot better than almost 21. Now, again, electricity can vary. You have to look at your area. Some states charge by the time of day. Some states charge by your usage, things like that. I use the national average flat rate. So now let's look at our Subaru. So our Subaru, to travel that same distance, 250 miles, we know that we're going to get 31 mile per gallon combined. So that's going to come out to 8.07. So 8.07 gallons to travel 250 miles. So in the great state of PA, we are privy to the highest gas in the country, and somehow magically also the worst roads. But that's another subject. So we're not going to use PA prices. That wouldn't be fair. We're going to use I'm going to just go with the Northeast average of $2.49. We're actually up near $3 a gallon, so the Northeast average is $2.49. So $2.49 times 8.07 gallons, and that's going to come out to $20.09. So we're going to take our $20, $20.09 divided by our 250 miles, and that's going to give us 8 cents a mile. So as we can see here, if you are traveling with your electric vehicle, you are paying a lot more to run that vehicle than you are a gas vehicle. Not only are you paying more, you're taking a lot more time out of your day. You're stopping quite frequently, and that's hoping you can find a station. They are not as prevalent as you might think. Check around, look at where the stations are that match your vehicle, and see if it works for you. Now, we can argue that with the gas vehicle, you have oil changes, fluid changes, things like that. But again, you have a lot of supercharging fees associated with the Tesla. On top of that, you have your initial $1,200 to $1,500 just for the charging station. Then you have your initial average of $15,000 as high as $24,000 upfront cost for the vehicle. So let's do this. Let's say you're $1,200. Let's be generous. $1,200 for the home charging station. $15,000 for the upfront cost of the vehicle. $16,200. So $16,200 more for the EV upfront over the gas equivalent. So how many miles would it take for the EV to pay for itself over the Subaru? Now we'll use the best case scenario. At home, 4.7 cents a mile from 8, difference of 3.3 cents. So let's do $16,200 divided by 3.3. It's going to be 490,909 miles before that upfront cost is going to be recouped on an electric vehicle. That's a long time. So in my opinion, no, EVs are not beneficial. I know some of you may think you're saving the world by buying an electric vehicle because you're not using fossil fuels. I would pose this question to you. When's the last time you rolled up on a massive construction site and saw clean diesel vehicles? Or did you more see big honking dirty, skid steers and dump trucks and everything else, dumping oil all over the place and spewing black clouds? The process of mining for the lithium for these batteries is not a clean process. So I mean, there's negatives associated with both. The purpose of this particular video is just to simply look at the straight up cost. So there is your straight up cost. You have your $16,200 up front, and then here's your per mile. So that gives you something to think about, and hopefully that'll help you make your decision on it if an electric vehicle is for you. So I hope this helped you out. Please subscribe and let me know what you think.